thing I tell people, how I show up. Like, I understand God when I saw the duality in him because I see the duality in me. God, how do you have these extreme? If you're Alpha and Omega, then how are you present? Like, how can you be of the world and in the world?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be in between. You got to pick. We are most disadvantaged out of everyone in our population, yet we still succeed. So if we can figure, I'm like, if a black woman can figure it out,
we'll be all right.
We'll be all right.
Here we go.
Money, money, making crap for money, money.
What's up, guys? This is Brianna Moore, your host of the Conversations Unearthed podcast, where y'all come for me, but you stay for the guest. Hello, Miss Heather Allen.
Thank you.
Y'all know we got to get on her schedule beforehand. She's very busy, so
You say that
thank you so much for showing up today.
Am I?
Booked and busy.
Am I? I be relaxing.
Blessed and busy.
Blessed and busy.
Hello.
Blessed and
Okay,
busy.
taken. That is stamped. It might go in my Instagram bio.
It might have to.
Blessed and busy.
But guess
Amen.
what? Look. Guess what?
Ooh.
We got a guest today.
Do we?
Not just any guest. My guest is so fly.
How
How fly is she?
I make sure I'm on time with that one because I want to hear it. I'm listening.
She said, "What's my intro?"
Look. Jocelyn Jones. Multi-talented powerhouse. A force to be reckoned with. Content creator. Former D1 basketball player. Pastor's kid. And a politics kid. She grew up navigating spaces of influence, leadership, and community impact. With an extremely impressive academic background, boasting not one, not two, not three, but four.
Four of them things.
4 degrees. Jocelyn brings intellect, strategy, and creativity into everything that she does. Get ready to hear from a woman who moves with purpose, passion, and an unwavering commitment to storytelling and social change.
Okay.
Whether she's crafting compelling content, sharing insights from her journey, Jocelyn's perspective is dynamic, thoughtful, and deeply authentic. Welcoming y'all, Miss Jocelyn Jones. Yes.
We are so glad to have
The only thing we missed.
What I miss?
I'm God's daughter.
Period.
God's daughter.
I'm God's daughter.
you. I was
first.
waiting for you to say it.
I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay. I forgot too. Don't worry. I forgot for a second. I forgot for a minute. So don't worry.
We got
When
you.
I- you know-
we about to pour so far into
Let me tell
everybody
you.
during this episode.
Yeah.
Like I said, I forgot I was God's daughter, so I'm just getting back to it. So don't worry.
First and foremost, God's daughter.
Yes.
Let's unpack that a little bit, because you said you forgot. You forgot that you was God's daughter for a little bit.
I
So,
need to hear this.
so what was that journey like, getting back onto the path?
Yeah, so like you said, thank you for the introduction, of course. Pleasure to be here. A lot of it, growing up as a pastor's kid in the area, I mean, people know my dad as a pastor first. So I can remember church since everything, church girl every Sunday. And the biggest thing, especially as we get older, we get taught like we can't rely on our religion of our parents and their relationship. And I was piggybacking off of their relationship for so long, and just thinking, just lean on the prayers of our grandmothers and everything. So not feeling like there was a sense of accountability for myself, or like feeling like it's an actual relationship that I had to also pour into. So I realized, I tell people I gave my life officially to Christ July 20th, 2024.
Oh, wow.
So that's my birthday. And so it was kind of like that.
That's
year.
your actual birthday?
Yeah,
too?
my actual birthday.
Okay.
Yeah. So I turned,
Cancer?
So I'm not into all of it.
Okay,
I'm not into that. I'm times and seasons. Times and seasons for sure. But in 2024, I was like, God, I need to get really serious about you. And I was trying to do things a little bit better, and then I realized like something was off. Like I wasn't really doing all that I could. You know, there was that space, and so. Like I said, on my birthday, like Jesus kind of was like, so we just gonna keep going halfway. Like I was sharing, like that lukewarm. Like when everything I've done, I've always gone all out. I've always poured everything. And so Holy Spirit convicted me, and I was like, let's go all in. So like Heather, like I was sharing, joined TLC, Life Church, got connected, joined our comms team. I'm leading a life group now. And so community, something I was missing, especially being from the area and trying to find community that's for you, that helps pour into you and grow. So God is, I tell people I'm new in this thing. I know I've been a pastor's kid, but in terms of having my own independent relationship with God and allowing him to express himself independently through me has been a journey. So like I said, I forgot I was God's daughter first, trying to figure out my purpose, trying to figure out, okay, God, what do you want me to do? And God was like, just be my daughter. Let me take care of you. Let me just show you. And so far, like, everything's been great, just trusting him in this process. So, yeah.
I love it. So we're here in the Richmond community, and as we both know, the Life Church is one of the fastest growing churches in the United States.
Yeah.
So I heard you talk about it. So how has that played a part in your experience and you being God's daughter, like back to it? Like, just tell me how that's played a part.
Absolutely. I'll be completely honest. It was challenging at first, especially with my dad being a pastor in the area. It was very hard for me to feel like, oh, let me just go and attend. I tell people I've been going since 2016. Since I was in college, and I just always played a back role kind of, and like not trying to step on anyone's toes. But then God was like, there's community here for you. There are things that, you relate, your people are here. And so I tell people it's more than just church for me. And it is, because I'm with God every day of the week, every day. And so Sunday is just kind of like the party, like the celebration of like, I'm seeing my friends, like, being a basketball player, you don't grow up with, like, I was serious about my sport. So I didn't have friends that I grew up with that I'm friends with now. And so navigating a space while also navigating my relationship with God and having people around my age, it's a very young church. So we're all around each other, like surrendering our lives to Christ. So it's like you look left and right and they'll be same age, and we just inspire each other to just, continue to have the path that we're going. And so it's been special. It's been special for sure, just to see how young our crowd is and just how crazy we're going for Lord. And we get to show up, have a space where we can show up as ourselves. There's so many churches in Richmond. Like there's so many churches in Richmond.
There are.
I think we forget. And I think it's good because then you have different ways that people can meet God, and different ways to have an interaction. And so TLC has been that space where I can show up authentically, right? And not have to worry about, who my dad talking in on stage. You have people left and right asking, like, they've known me since I was kids. Like, I just want to be here talking with the Lord. Like, I just want to be here for God. And
to be you, being able to show up as you.
Yeah,
and not as the pastor's daughter.
Right, exactly. Because I'm someone, I can stay low-key and be totally fine. But God was like, no, like I'm settling if I just allow you to hide or keep hiding. And so, like I said, my TLC family has definitely poured into me in a way that I'm able to show up this way, now. So yeah.
I love it.
Man, I got a whole list of questions. But it's like I'm feeling so like it feels like magnetic right now. Okay. Because look, I'm on a journey too right now, not to the point where I'm in church. I want to be, like I shared with you guys before, like I want it more so for a community, because me and God locked in. I feel like we could be even more locked in. Yeah. But like everything that I've asked God for, if I pray on my knees, it come to me. Like anybody who's ever done me wrong, I've gotten whatever was taken from me back tenfold. And I think a lot of that is because my prayer is mostly like, God, put me in a position so when people see me, they see you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not about me. Right. And I'm completely okay with that, because after this body is gone, this soul still gonna be here. I don't know what in what capacity it'll be, but it'll be here. So like, I want to talk to you about, who are you? Like, stripped away, like, let's strip away everything. D1 athlete, let's strip away the degrees, let's strip away PK, let's strip away everything. Like, who are you at your core?
Yeah. I'm a creative. Like, I'm an artist for sure. Yeah. I think the one reason why I've been so good at everything that I've kind of been blessed with is like I've always found a way to figure it out. And I think now I tell people where I am and where God has led me. I'm doing a lot of things I was doing as a kid, but at the time basketball was priority, and then school was a priority. And so once you're in that space, once you're in it, especially at the high level, you just stay in it. Like, this is the ticket. Like, scholarships, you got opportunities, you have to be in these spaces.
And I want to say too, when you operate at a high level like that, people get so used to seeing you operating at a high level that it feels mediocre sometimes. But you like, everything you telling us, and then you say it so casually. I'm like, wait a minute, let's not go over there.
I like it. I was having fun. Like, I did not want to, like, there were times I wanted to quit basketball. There were times I just wanted to not do it, but like you said, it was always bigger than me.
Yeah.
And so I was I always served a bigger purpose, but forgot that one whose hand was over it the entire time. And then also it's like I'm pouring more into that thing instead of giving it to God and allowing it to flow, you know? So it was a misdirected kind of energy. So I feel like where I am now, it's like, now that I'm seeking, you know, in terms of, I'm seeking God and the kingdom first, and then everything else that he's providing, like, it's just, even in the way of like what he's setting up and how he's pruning me and preparing me for what he has, like starkly different. I tell people I show up completely different now than ever before, and it's like I'm back to being a kid, and it's like just kind of always how I've kind of been in these spaces, but now it's especially where I am right now in this season. It's like, all right, God, like I'm just gonna surrender a whole nother level, seek wholeheartedly, because it's like, you have not steered me wrong yet. Like I don't know who I am right now, or don't know what's going on, but I trust you enough to allow people to speak into me. And so people call me poet, call me creative, call me artist, and all these things. So it's like, I hold on to those things because y'all see it. Even if I might not, like I'm going to hold on because there's a reason why God is like pouring into her. So yeah.
That's trusting God is amazing, because you don't know
where the one. Listen, he will never fail. Listen,
he won't.
And a lot of people, I feel like when they do have, well, shoot, I'm speaking for me right now. I'd be like, Lord, where you at? Because you know, you get a little impatient sometimes. No, you good. You good. So I guess I would like to know.
You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you
I'm
good?
coming over. Yeah. You know, it's when you the back end of like that. Like, last week, a lot of people was sick. I told you I don't be outside.
Nah.
So I done got.
Y'all, she said today was the only time she came outside for us.
Yes.
Yeah, usually I'm not as social in this season. So but yeah. So in terms of like that patience, I mean, that has been the number one, like, top of the lineup. I'm like, how can I pray for you? Patience, please. Like, patience, because I'm a hustler at heart. Like, being from Richmond, the one thing, I'm a hustler. Like, to be in this city, you have to. And, like, I've been in so many different crowds and so many different spaces that I've always known, like, how to make something work. Like, make a bad situation good when I ain't got nothing, how to make something, you know, a lot of that, still being creative. But it can be used in a way that gets in the way of God. Like, God wants to provide for you. Like, so either I can keep moving and not trusting, you know, if God said, because right now God was like, sit still. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, God. Because I usually be on the go. When he tell you to sit still? It's been hard. Jesus. I ain't got no melanin in my skin because I'm not gone to no island, okay? In these winter months. Because God said sit still and I'm sitting still. But it's hard.
I don't have no flights booked right now. And I'm like, what is you doing, Lord?
Right. And it's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me to be on the go, because I'll be in Richmond. I've been gone since college. I've been somewhere else every single year. Like, I don't have no problem picking up, going to a new city, start over. My personality, I can make it anywhere. Like, I just need to know one or two people. I know who I need to meet, and then just kind of flows.
Good. What cities?
So I've been to, after Chapel Hill, I went to South Orange, New Jersey. Okay. South Orange, New Jersey. I got my North card up. I got a real good card up there.
Okay. She said she can walk that talk with y'all.
I can see that though. I can see that.
It was a lot, you know, it was a whole lot going up there. Then DC, I was in DC during like that COVID time. Like, I was like, that was the best time to be in DC because there wasn't nobody up there. You could just I was taking public transportation and nobody there. It was great.
It was good.
And then Orlando, Florida. Okay. That is definitely home for sure.
Ooh, how long were you there?
Long enough. Because God was like, go ahead, let's go back and get you back home, because I realized I forced that one. That was one of those that I made it happen. Like, I really forced it, and God was like, fine, and kind of lifted his hand. So even though I know there is place and home for me in Orlando, it was wrong time, wrong season. But definitely miss it because I love me some Florida. I'm a Florida girl.
Have you been to Tampa?
Listen, Tampa
is my spot.
Listen, Ybor City. Baby, we can listen. I'm well traveled. I'm one of those well traveled people.
When you get ready to get another flight, we can go to Tampa. Okay, let's just.
I got
whenever you're ready.
I got folks. The one thing I will say, I got folks everywhere. My favorite part outside of that's very Richmond-esque that people don't really know about is Santa Cruz, Northern California.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. Like,
Okay. I have not been to Santa Cruz.
yeah, it's the Northern California.
You love it.
Love it because my dad's from San Diego, so Southern Cal.
Oh.
So Southern Cal. So I do like San Diego.
Okay.
But in your Northern California, because you get the mountains and you get the sea, and it's like the weather is great. You get the beach.
Beach or mountain?
Beach, absolutely.
Which one? Beach for you?
Beach for me, absolutely.
Okay.
Because I'm an island girl.
Okay.
Island
I am
gal.
too.
Yes,
Absolutely.
So yeah, so it's just been, all right, God, like you show me the world. Like I've been out the country, I've been all over the United States, and the one thing that like he reminds me, because I went to Santa Cruz for 2 weeks before God was like shut it down, and so it's like I pull on that moment because I'm like, God, you didn't show me this type of peace and like greatness for me to be here in Richmond, you know. So there's purpose, there's a reason why I'm here. I don't know, but I have to fix my attitude and get to a point of like, God, I trust you for whatever reason. And he showed me breakthrough. He showed me healing. He showed me community, you know? And so I'm like, oh, so maybe now I understand. So now I'm like, okay, instead of just, because usually I'll be out, like I'll be here from like July or August till about November on to my next city.
Right.
And so this time, this has been like the longest I've been home since leaving for college. And I'm like,
how has that felt?
It's been different.
Well, I got a few questions.
I found peace here. I didn't think I could find peace. That place to call is pain and everything. So like when I say like truly, like God has been working a lot of new things in me, like getting baptized and like leaving that old life is dead and gone, like and really being able to, okay, God, like I am a new creature in Christ. It's been something special. So like I said, like I feel right doing for it to happen in Richmond because I'm always big on like home first, you know, like I always, anywhere I go, I don't let anyone talk about Richmond, like regardless of whatever's going on, regardless of what's good, bad, like I stick up for my city because I've been in every part of Richmond. Like I've been in all surrounding counties, inner city, whatever side. Now I will claim South Side the most, like South Side all day. But at the end of the day, I love this city, you know, regardless of what it is. And so it would be a robbery if I didn't blossom, like, you know, find myself home, you know, instead of like going, because a lot of us leave and never come back. Yeah, you know,
that's me, child.
So it's like you leave and never come back. So it's like God's giving me reasons to come back now. So it's like now, even if I do leave, you know, I'll go to Richmond for a week or so. You know, it ain't too bad. You know, instead of just always running.
So you've done this transition, and relationships are very important for me. Who you spend your time with is so important. Yeah. Have you found that your friendships from the past, are they still the same? Have you made more friends? Do you still have the same group? Have you merged the group? What's that look like? How's the relationship building been for you?
So I had to cut everything. It was kind of I have my one best friend, Maya, my college best friend. Been friends for like 7. That's my longest standing friend. Everyone else were within times and seasons, and it's not to say that there is no longer a relationship, but I had to work on my relationship with God, and then through God, He's showing me who my people are. Yeah. So I have been a recluse. Like I took time, and just God it's just like the end of last year. It was just me and Him. Like I'm like I can't be around anyone right now because I need to be allowed to grieve what's leaving and be done with it so I can truly be free and then be able to show up how God has called me to be. But it's like it's for me, I gotta be cut and dry. Like I'm someone, like I stopped drinking in September. Like I ain't drinking no more. Like I'm just like I ain't doing it. This is what I'm not doing. This is my decision. That's it. And so like for me, it's like I have to go extreme that way because on the back end, it's like I've built discipline. Found ways that my body needs to heal of how it feels better. And so I know that same way with relationships because they're very important to me. It's like how I was showing up wasn't really how I need to be showing up. So I know I have not been the best friend. I haven't been the best person. And it's like, let me get to who God has called me to be. And I know the people who are going to be for me are for me. And also I'm the person that's like, there's never love lost. Like I love everybody. Like especially you from Richmond, like there's always love. Like even you cross me, hurt me, whatever. I don't care. Like, especially where now I'm new. Like I made a lot of mistakes, made a lot of mess ups, and for God to be like, I still love you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's only right for me if I say I'm a follower of Christ and I'm being the salt and light of the world, then you also have to see that, have that same grace, have that same mercy through me. So that's where I am. So community is building. I feel like I'm trying to figure out who are the right people, because like I said, I'm new. So there are parts of me that I haven't even exposed to a lot of people who might have known me in the past. They only know versions or pieces of me. And so I want to give them a full picture to give a good, like, okay, this is somebody I rock with, someone I don't, you know? And for me on the other side, it's like, either way, we all God's kids, and like,
that's it.
We all on a different path, and hey, you know.
But all of this is so much growth. Like,
thank you.
You sound like such an adult right now.
Oh, child.
Like, I know you were like, I'm back a kid.
I'm 26.
Yeah, Lord. Well, it's giving.
The 20-somethings is coming on here and you're just killing it.
I mean, killing it.
Because I tell people, I'm like, we just been like, I feel, so I'm an old school girl. Like,
I feel it.
My dad's mom, Evelyn, Sugar Jones, rest her soul. Like,
Shout
I was
out to
with
Sugar
her.
Jones.
I was with her, and Sugar, like, how I was just raised, even though it was a very young part of my life, I picked up on certain ways of just how to move and just how to just carry yourself, of like, with this grace but poise, but like, she's a truth teller. And so with me, it was always my mouth, but like, the power comes from your mouth, like, either curses or blessings.
Yep.
Either way, like, you can impact somebody. And so what the enemy tried to do was just really use my mouth in a way that was not creative or constructive, you know, like God spoke a word and created everything. So we have that same creative power in us. And so it's like, all right, either I know what's right and I can just choose what's wrong. And I tell people, my life full of sin, I was choosing that. There was nobody who was telling me, oh, to do this. There was nobody forcing me. And I've always made it known, like, these are the decisions that I've chosen. And so on this other side, it's like, no, like, I'm choosing this, you know, I'm choosing to show up this way because I thought I couldn't show up any other way. Like, I thought it was only one way to live my life. And then for God to be like, nope, I redeemed you. Nope, I forgive you. Like, clean slate. Start, you know? So it's like, why not? And then, like, going back to just like this generation, I felt like, and also just this, what the statistics are saying is like, generations after, like, okay, so I call myself a zillennial because I relate more to people who are in the 30s, because I'm an 80s, 70s. I love that type of stuff. Yeah. But generations after us, they didn't grow up in church. Like, they don't have any type of relationship with God, because their parents, because of what their church heard or what they've gone through, they don't have a connection. So their kids that they're having, you know? Nope. And so,
because we was in church every Sunday.
Listen, regardless,
they might catch church once a year, and that's maybe on TV.
And it's sad. And even if, and once again, even if it was just practical, those are the ways of like training your child up, you know? Because I know all the sin I was living in, I knew where to turn to. Like, if things got bad, I'm like,
hey,
all right, God.
Hey, you. Like, I know it's been a minute.
Right. I knew, at least, like, I knew where to go. And so for me, it's like, one, I feel like there's a lot of us in my age group right now, like, just really trying to show that there's a way to have a relationship with God that's different from what you might have been like disposed to before, and totally different than, like, even if you were hurt, you know, like, people hurt us every day, but we find more people. Like, we find, we find until we get it right. You know what I'm saying? And so that's really where my journey has been, of like, I didn't think I can show up this way. You know, I didn't think I can show up the way that I can and be, you know, in my feminine space and be in my creative space in all these different ways and still be seen as a child of God, you know? And like I was sharing before, it's a different expression. And so kids need to see, like, oh, you're a Jesus freak looking like, and we'll be right, and like, we'll be dressed like this, praising, jumping on Sunday and laid out on the floor because of how grateful, you know, I am.
That's one of the reasons I love Life Church. Yeah. I can literally show up. I love sneakers. I love a sneaker. And I can show up just in my chill clothes, not to say that I'm looking like a bum, because that's not it at all, but you can just show up as you. Like, you don't got to put on this front. Like, if you don't feel like putting on the heels, you ain't got to do that. You can literally come as you are, and you still feel good to praise the Lord.
I'm a worshiper. Like, I'm the one, like, I'll be snotting. They be handing me the tissue. Don't give me no tissue.
So the people walking around are for you. For you.
But I don't take the tissue. I said, I want God. I was like, I ain't ashamed, because it's going to keep coming. So for me to get to that point, it's really like a place of worship for me, you know, it's really what it is of like, I've never experienced that. And then, like I said, it's God. Like it ain't, I couldn't tell you the growth has been me growing closer to him, has been being me just seeking him and just like him proving me month after month, like, oh God, you got me through another month. Okay, God, you got me. All right, I don't know what's going on, but you doing something, you know? So it's like, okay, you want me to rest and chill? I said, I want to be a house mom anyways. I want to be a work from home.
So show me how this life gonna be.
I was like, I guess you was going to have to teach me somehow how to stay at the house.
That's it.
Why you said sit down.
Right, sit down, right. Because listen, I want to be ready for like when my husband does come. It's like, oh, and once again, I have fun. I love to dance. I love to, you know, music is my thing. But I'm single. What I need to be out doing a whole lot. I'm good. Like, I'll show up in the spaces I need to show up in. God's going to put me around. But it's like, if I desire a certain lifestyle, like I would desire to be a mother. I desire to be a wife and like really be a matriarch of my family. Like that's what I've seen my whole life. You know what I'm saying? And so that's something I want to be. I'm like, why? I don't want to work. I don't want to work. Especially so like God has been showing me like, all right, sit down. Let me provide for you. Okay, God.
I'm gonna sit down.
You ain't got to say nothing, God. He's been providing. I said, shoot. And I let anybody come up to me. I said, I don't work. I stay at home with my father. Like, I don't pay why do you pay rent? I don't want to pay rent.
Yeah. I'm not looking for that.
I'm not looking for that. And I don't want to give no impression that I want to pay anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
And this is interesting, too, because we just interviewed your dad, and his episode dropped today.
Oh, yes. And
don't
listen.
And it's just so crazy how this whole dynamic is coming around full circle because...
Oh, that's cute.
I think that, like, you saying this about how he's, I guess, taking care of you in a way...
Yeah.
The
whole way.
I mean...
That's part of God's plan.
It literally leans into everything that he said he was doing. He did it all for you and Jalen.
Yes.
Listen, I tell people, my dad has been saying for years, he said he wants to create Richmond and this is what he said, Richmond to be a place where his children can come home to.
Yeah.
And I said, now I'll be like, Dad, all right, look now, my brother is here and I'm here. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
And what happens on Christmas? You provide for us.
Right. So. Because my thing is like, the one thing I was saying, my dad is a great father.
Yes.
And like, will never take that away from him. Like, that's the only thing I can speak to because he is my father.
Right.
Yeah.
And he has always made sure that I had everything I needed. And like I said, like, I forgot that I actually had a father. And both Heavenly Father and Earthly Father, you know, because you'll be around other people who don't have their fathers and make you feel bad because you're you're spoiled.
Child.
Spoiled. I said, I work hard.
Yeah.
I said, I've been going to school. I said, I've been making sure I volunteer. I do.
Yeah.
I am heavily involved. I help. I did not get in trouble, you know, ridiculously.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything I'm supposed to, and I'm figuring life out at the same time. And so the one thing, like my dad, and honestly, it comes from Sugar. It's like I'll always help you do right. And so for me, especially coming back home and being back home with my dad, it was like, and same like it's almost a parallel too, because it's like, oh shoot, I also forgot that I actually had a earthly father who wants to. He was like, it's not right for me to have and me not be able to support you.
Yeah.
And so it's like either I can fight that because people are like, oh, your dad does this, you know, like and I'm like, I'm grateful. Like, I'm grateful, you know, because it allows me to not like feel like I'm running away and like have to do other things. Like, no, I could just go back home.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm okay being home, you know? And so very grateful, you know, that relationship, you know, our relationship with our parents are just so dynamic.
They
but
are. Oh my
it's
God.
like I said, at the end of the day, it's not perfect, but I would say like me allowing him to provide has just shown me like God blesses me through him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I ain't gonna block my blessing. Like,
as a 26-year-old living with your dad, I gotta get some fun here. No, this has been great. But oh gosh. I don't know what that was. What's been the biggest challenge of living with dad at this age?
It's really not.
It's been peaceful?
Well, cause like how me and my dad are, we're very similar. So once like we have our own space, we both had to just do a better job just communicating, but like that's just us of like where faults are and like who we were, you know, just communicating. But I'm chill, like, and my dad
talk every day.
I'm trying to do better on giving space because both my parents, they in the past want to talk every single day. And I realized somebody, especially now, like I'm someone I don't want to talk every single day. I prefer someone's presence over just a conversation anyway. So I'm very chill. Like I'm in the house. You need something? Nope. Cool. You need anything? Cool. Me and Bruno be chilling.
Bruno the dog.
Bruno's the dog.
Okay.
So Bruno's the king.
Shout out to Bruno.
Shout out to Bruno. So yeah. So I mean, it's chill. Like I'm not. Like I'm respectful. Like I'm 26, and it's like also outside of being God's daughter allows me to show up in the way that I need to, and it's like the Bible says honor your mother and father, and so it's like I'm honoring and respecting because it's like. And at the end of the day, like I don't have to be like I didn't have to have this opportunity, and God placed this, and it's honestly timing as well with just like both of where our lives are and seasons. That's like I can be in a space and also humble myself in a way to be like I'm gonna go home. It's a house. I just need a room. I ain't doing.
I don't need much.
I don't. And God showed me a lot of like. You thought you needed all these things just because I had access and I could. But I'm like, I'm a simple girl. I sit right on my porch. And sit inside with the dog. And I'm chill.
It's interesting for me because, I mean, both of you guys grew up with fathers.
Correct.
I did not.
Yeah.
My father passed before I was born. But it's just interesting to see, like, how successful you guys are, how young you guys are, how you guys manage to kind of like carry yourselves in this amazing type of way. And I know like sometimes, because you said people sometimes they kind of get upset or I guess judge you in a way for having a dad and they don't. And I don't feel like I do that, but sometimes I feel like I have a little bit more to carry. Like especially when it comes to like finances and things like that.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Your relationship with God, like I'm the only reason why I'm able to be a better daughter, like earthly daughter, is because I'm a better daughter to God.
Gotcha.
Like truly, like even within the past 3-4 months of how God has just changed me, it's allowed me to see God as my father, and then it takes so much pressure off of everyone else. Because it's like I don't lean, even like people who are friends and people who I consider family, I've taken pressure off of them because instead of going to them with everything or trying to find something in the world, I'm literally giving it to God. And so it's like, because I feel you like on that pressure, like because of who my family is, I didn't like, to be in the light of like knowing that I was provided for. Like it was like this thing of like that would diminish my accomplishments because like your family, like you connect, and I'm like, no, I worked very hard for this stuff, and it was not easy, and so I was ashamed to like be in these affluent spaces and show up even as my blackness at times, because it's like because once again I went to PWI, so then you got black folk looking at you like, so what's going on? I'm like, actually I learned how to be black in college because Chapel Hill, North Carolina, UNC, like that space. I learned how to be black in one of the whitest spaces I was. So I'm like, it just was a very hard like not a struggle, but just a different duality that I was dealing with of like, okay, this is actually my reality, and I'm ashamed of it because it discredits what I'm doing over here. And God is like, I did this for a reason, and I'm like, okay, God, like that's what I'm like, I don't get it. So there's a reason why, like I said, my life is not perfect. But when you just really seek Him and put it all in God, like I be like, each week I try to just find something to give God. I ain't sleeping too well this week. I'm giving you my sleep this week. Restful. I'll just give it everything.
Amen.
Just give it everything. I'm like, all right, God, I said it before. If I ain't got it, here you go, God, because if you want it done, you gonna have to get it done. Like I just have to. That's how I have to show up. Because I'll try to take it on, and I've taken on so much for so long, and I'm like,
I can't take it on.
Mama is tired. That's why I want to be at home with my husband, with my kids.
Come on, speak that.
Chilling.
Speak that. So, being that,
sorry,
no, were you about to say something?
No, you go ahead.
Oh, you were about to say something.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, if you're gonna say,
no, I got fire round questions. That's all.
Oh, dang. Okay, wait.
I'm gonna let you do your thing.
Yeah, let me ask this. Being right now that you said you have a client right now, content creation and taking care of their pages and your own. But I'm gonna make a statement and correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
There are limited funding coming in because of. I'm not saying that.
Oh, I ain't doing nothing.
I know.
Oh yeah.
No, that's what you told me. So I'm like
I'm
going in
taking
that
no
direction.
offense. Yeah.
I'm not trying to make it in that way at all.
Yeah.
But like because of those and those limited finances coming in, how is that relationship with money right now taking over for you? And I already know what you're about to say.
Financial
God got me.
But even
but
practical.
for real, tell me how that's going.
Like financial. Like I've learned how to be a financial steward over my money.
Yeah.
Because I used to always be able to have money coming in, so I don't have to ever worry about it going out. And so God really put me limited and was like, all right, and I want you to tithe. And I want you to give offering, and I want you to pay down on your debt. And I'm like,
oh wow.
Well, if you want me to do it, God, you're gonna have to provide it. And so like literally, like I've been able to tithe faithfully. Like this is the most I've ever tithed. And I looked back at my giving statements, I was like,
oh, I did that.
hey.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't even, and thinking like how little, but like when you do it routinely and it's a discipline, you know, those dollars add up. And it's like they're all going towards the kingdom. And like to know like, all right, God, you get my first and I trust you with this, and anything else that you need. Like I tell people, I'm like, if I need it and God knows I need it for me to do his will, he'll give it to me. And he has in a whatever way he's chosen to do it. But yeah, like I've had to be smart. Like, I'm a chef too. So like I cook. So it's like I don't eat out.
Wait a minute.
Oh wow.
Hold on.
So,
You chef it up for other people? You don't got to for me.
I'm a private chef. So when I was in Charlotte.
Hold on.
My service.
Wait a minute. You better have some more money in your pocket very soon.
Listen.
I don't like to cook.
Listen. I'm very particular in who my clients are because I eat very clean.
Okay.
I've lost 90 pounds since September of last year.
Oh my gosh. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Thank you. And a lot of it's been both food and exercise, but really the food part. Because it's like if you don't understand what your body actually needs and what it's like okay without, or you're actually putting more stuff that makes it challenging for your body.
Yeah.
And so once again, like that was around the time that I was devoting my life, like seeking God deeper. And he was like, all right, eat this way. Like I fast every Monday until 6. That's how I start my week.
6 in the evening.
6 in the evening, yeah. That's how I start my week. Cause I'm like, I gotta set the tone. And it sets the tone. And so like my first meal, I found out, I was like, I'm vegetarian at this point because I tried to have meat last week and I was sick. And I was like, cause I really don't eat that a lot of meat. Like it would be like once or twice a month. But I ate it because I had some chicken. Because we did prayer and fast. We had prayer and fasting at TLC, and baby, I had all the chicken tenders I can.
Okay, so it might have been that you was overeating the chicken tenders. You said maybe I want all of them.
But listen, it don't take much because once I get sick like that, I'm like, forget about it. Because God put that E. coli in that quarter pounder, and I said I never got one again. Because I was having a quarter pounder a week.
Baby, me and a Big Mac got some serious.
It's Friday, Free Fry Friday, baby. So I was just, allowing God to just show me how to live my life, and then realize like I was overspending in spaces. Like we overeat and also we overspend, especially when it comes to the grocery store. It's like, know what you want to eat and just go shopping. Like for me, I'm also ain't doing nothing. So I can go to the grocery store every 3 days. Like I don't need to go for the full week. Cause if I don't finish, now that food is wasted. That's money in the pocket, So it's like those small decisions. Like I told you, the farmer's market, going in local farmers produce. It's cheaper and it's better quality. Like, so that's one space. A lot of like where I am with my style, like I buy a lot of my friends, like this is one of my friends, clothing line. So I wear a lot of my friends.
Shout out to the friend. Hold on.
Yes.
Dreamers
Company.
Okay.
Hustle Team, Dream Chaser. No, my homeboy, Tamon Jones.
Okay. You got to send us the Instagram.
Yeah, I absolutely will. So I love to support my friends. So I will buy their clothes first. And then I'm a big thrift girly. Like I will repurpose something.
What's your favorite thrift store in the Richmond area?
Goodwill.
Okay, we love the Goodwill.
People be tripping. I'm like, you gotta go. You gotta know where to go because you gotta go in certain neighborhoods for where people donate certain stuff, and you gotta go time. So I have like a whole little schedule. I got certain ones,
a little blueprint.
Little blueprint.
And she said, I'm gonna hit this one and this one.
Yeah, like there's one Goodwill I only get my jeans from because they have really good men's jeans. So so I'm like, okay, God, in this season, like I said, I thought I needed more than I did. Like I'm creative enough that I be thinking I'm repeating clothes, and people like, you did that,
right?
We just love. I be like, well, let me not tell y'all what I'm doing. Let me just keep doing it, you know. And so now I'm spending $30 for like some outfits, and then like I'm creative, like I embroider, I sew, crochet, I do all these things. So
when you said you was creative, baby, God poured all the creativity,
all of it.
And I don't know if he didn't give me all that, so he gave it to you.
Listen, it's a lot. It's a lot to carry. It's a lot to carry, because it's like, since you can do so much, you do so much, and it's like I've always done the most in my life, and I can just be, and it's hard because it's like I've never had boundaries before, so saying no, like I never like saying no.
The power of saying no is so important.
And I don't know, like let me get back to you, because I don't, because you got me at the wrong time. I don't know, let me come back, because I don't want to say yes, because now I gotta go back and come back say no. But if
now I'm committed to something,
right? And
I don't really know. Let me get back to you.
Let me get back to you. Let me think. So it's like being mindful, because like same thing even of time, because time is money. Time is money. And so it's like, these are the things that God is showing me, you know, things that God are showing me as I'm growing close to him. And like I said, I'm very grateful I'm able to pay my phone bill. I do got my own phone bill, so that's
okay.
Shout
out to that.
I'll be paying for that. I got it's like so expensive. They be like 2 phones. I'm like, it's 2 phone bills. It's a lot. It be ghetto, but I very grateful I'm able to pay it every month. Amen. You know, and so God's given me enough, and I'm content with that, you know. So yeah.
Good. Fire round question.
All right, I got my
I knew you was ready.
I got so many
I know you do.
So
go ahead, come on, now, listen. One night only.
Okay.
She said, because I don't know the next time you're getting me on here.
Right.
So
you might be
get all your questions out
the country tomorrow. You never know where God goes.
She said, if God leave me out this country, I'm ready to hit a beach. She said, she's ready, God. So when you're ready, she's ready.
I'm ready.
All right, we're going
get ready.
We're going to start real light.
Okay.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
Yes.
Have you ever walked away from an opportunity because it did not align with your values?
Yes.
Have you ever changed your mind about a strong belief you once held?
Yes.
Would you ever go back to school for a 5th degree?
Yes.
Have you ever experienced imposter syndrome?
Yes.
Would you ever coach basketball?
I did.
Have you?
Sorry.
Have you ever been underestimated?
Yes.
Have you ever had to choose between loyalty and growth?
Yes.
Do you think legacy is more important than impact?
No.
Would you ever run for office?
No.
Do you believe you're living in your purpose right now?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Right. I know. I always love these fire round ones.
All right. Did I ask this one? Have you ever regretted a major decision?
No.
Okay. Ooh, never? Never?
Listen, old life is dead. I ain't
old life is dead.
Ain't no regrets.
Okay, I want to go back to this one.
Okay.
Have you ever changed your mind about a strong belief you once held? What was that? What was that belief, and what made you change your mind?
That I could be spiritual and not religious.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to be the one that was like, oh, I don't need to go to church. I have I just got the things. I'm connected. I'm spiritual. Don't call me like, you know, also with being educated, you understand, well, one of my bachelor's in women gender studies. So you learn about power structures, you learn about society and just the different spaces, and religion is one of those spaces where it is how society has taken it. A lot of it is with the enemy and just started perverting what religion is, but religion is a practice. And so I think a lot of where there is a lot of confusion at times is that religious is seen as like this real spooky, like Holy Ghost. Well, Holy Ghost is definitely involved, but like they amplify it in this way that's negative of like, oh no, I'm not that, you know, because unfortunately there are people in the church who put on these types of ways that are
very
judgy. Yeah. And once again, I'm very practical. So I'm like, as long as I'm reading the book, that's all that matters. And it's like, it's not just reading the Bible. It's community. It's being involved. It's showing up as the light and salt of the world. So it was like, oh, so I do have to go to church. Oh, I need to be involved in my community. Oh, I need to be showing up in these certain ways. I need to be tithing. I need, you know, and that is the religion of Christianity. Like Jesus's ways, that is a religion. And so for me to almost denounce that, like I wouldn't call myself Christian. I was just like, I'm a believer. And like that in itself, it's like, for me, I'm denying Jesus Christ by not claiming Christianity. And how dare I, in the sense of like, he's the one who died for my sins. So I think that was really the biggest one, of just like being spiritual. Like I can be spiritual, not religious, just because of, you know, the power structures and just like how religion has been weaponized, you know, in spaces like history, takes a, like is huge. Like I'm a big history person, and like understanding how religion has been weaponized to oppress people, our own people, in a way. And it's like, it's the enemy. That's the enemy. That was the like he has made it in a way to make us trick and to be separated, so we're not unified. And so that's the point. And so, so I'm like, hey, I am a Christian, because Christ died for me, and that is what I believe. So.
And that's interesting too, because like people back in the day, or back in slave times, the people, the white people, masters, whatever, they would actually like mark out most of the Bible and only let us read what they gave us. So like,
and they said that we couldn't read. So what you marking it out for? If we said we can't read, that's what I was like.
So I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that, because, you know, like, it was weaponized against us, and a lot of people kind of like diverge away from it because of that reason. But it's like, I mean, the stuff was kind of blocked out. You read with what they wanted you to read.
Also, you can, but still to this day, people weaponize the Bible. They take the Bible out of context. Like they take it out of context. They take this one portion, this one sentence, and just do not give the one. There is a difference between the Old and New Testament. People still don't understand the times of what was going on. Like you have to have context to understand. And so for me, like I'm a big doctrine person. Like I read the Bible in so many different ways so that I can just continue to learn how it can connect. Like my second degree bachelor's is in philosophy. And so there are Christian philosophers. Like Plato is someone, the Republic is based off of almost a Christian society of like how to treat people. And so you have people, maybe I'll say what I say is Socrates was not a believer in that sense, in terms of where I think that's why there was a lot of friction between those two in terms of how they approach society. But yeah, like people still, like the Bible has been used as a weapon, and still to this day of people like, oh, well, where is it in the Bible? Where it's like, y'all are seeking for something that's not of God in this. And so if you're taking God out of it, it's no longer his word. It's no longer his word and what he intended it for it to be.
Yeah. I had a conversation with somebody about that the other day. I mean, heated, because I'm a strong believer in like manifestation and speaking things into existence. And the girl who I was talking to, she was like, well, that's not in the Bible. So how can that work? And I'm sitting here like, bro, I literally spoke everything that I have.
And seek first the kingdom, and everything will be added unto you.
That's it.
You see
That's
it. Like
it.
it's
I can't show you a scripture or a verse where it says
this
it.
world wasn't even what it was back then. So there's no way that everything that we have now can show up in the Bible.
And that's once again, it's context. Like it's a book. It is a book where it is showing us how Jesus lived, how God. This is what it is. So it's reference. So it's not, oh my gosh, I see myself as Moses. No, I see what Moses was going through.
His behaviors,
his actions. Because what it says is that he was a man after God's heart. He was him. One day God just started talking to him. Now God does not just come up and just talk to me every single day. I know that there's a certain relationship that you have to have for God to just show up and be like,
me and Moses
hey,
are not the same.
I called you. I called you to do this. And so that's what you learn from it. You learn like, how did Jesus take people who were calling him a hypocrite, taking him, who were calling him out like, you are not the Son of God. And he's like, I literally just said, I'm like, like, I said what I said, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, it's like, there's no way, like, especially for me, like, I'm too way into my Bible that I'm like, well, show me, like, show me where it says, and let's talk about it. Because once again, it's like, do you know the context of the time? You know, in the New Testament, Rome, the Caesar, do you know the Caesar? Do you understand what that Roman Empire was? And so like, for me, I'm so blessed, and being able to look back even of like, you know, the history classes I took, the philosophy classes that I took, like me learning the context of the world through all these different times. And then at the same time, being able to now look at the Bible and see how it's being used in these same times, I get a full picture. Like I can share like, oh, this is why they were going through what they were going through and why it repeats itself. You know what I'm saying? So I just tell people again that word, like, read the Bible, just read it. Like, don't like, people try to seek beyond it. Like, no, you like, going beyond the understanding of what the Holy Ghost is revealing to you. Like if you're trying to go somewhere else to seek revelation outside the Bible, no, like just read enough. I was just reading the same passage over and over again until it stuck.
Until you got what you needed.
Until I got what I needed. And so for me, you know, so it's being patient with yourself. It's being like, hey, I don't know, but God, like I prayed to before I started reading, like God, Holy Spirit, reveal to me what you need. Like in the beginning, I just used to just open the Bible, like, all right, God. And then when that random verse would just hit me and convict me, I said, let me do this again to the next day. And then so then you get to a point where it's like, so every scripture it can relate to me in some type of way. I can learn from something. So now it's like it's free game. Like I say, I'm a hustler. Like I'll pick up stuff quick. So you mean tell me, God, you just gave me the book of life.
Yeah.
You just showed me what I need to do, and it shows like His grace. It shows when you mess up. It shows, hey, how to forgive someone else even when they hurt you, and why. You know what I'm saying? So it's like not only do I have my actions, but I know why I'm doing them too.
Yeah.
And you spoke a little bit about pain before we got into like you traveling, things like that. It almost felt like you were traveling places to kind of escape.
I was running.
You was running. So I guess I'm just interested to see, like, if you want to share, you don't have to, what that pain was, and how you got over it. I can kind of tell how you got over it. I'm sure you used the power of the Lord.
Listen, I mean, a lot of his breakthrough. A lot of it has been generational curses. I would say has been a lot of it. I was, in terms of hierarchy, generational curses, things that did not start with me, but they end with me. That's what PV was talking about. It ends and ending with me. So a lot of that. I'm bipolar. I have bipolar 1. So my mental health has been a huge thing for me. 4 years off of no medication.
Oh wow.
God,
Amen.
Lord.
Amen.
Like keep me centered. So it's like, yes, God has been able to.
Hold on, 4 years without. You know when you hear something, and then you have to like sit there for a second. Hold on, that is magnificent.
Yeah.
4 years without medication.
Yeah, because when you go,
clap it up to my girl.
Yeah,
thank you.
Put the claps on.
Yes, that is amazing. That shows your dedication, your strength, your growth, your commitment. Like I just wanted to pour into you right there, just because that's amazing.
It's because I tell people I had a really bad experience in Jersey, and I was like, God, never again will I depend on a pill.
Yes.
Because it's not it. I was a zombie. Like this is not who I am. And to not even notice and thinking this is helping me. And once again, I tell people all the time, it's not for everybody, because some people really do need it. Because like you said, it takes a level of discipline. It takes a level, like I am so regimented. I tell people I have to have these guardrails so I can just bounce right on through them, you know, so I don't go too far. But
I
God
have similar.
me.
So I have ADHD.
Okay.
And
real bad.
Hold on now.
I mean,
I was just
it's
her words, not mine.
But you said it.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. Gotta watch the people around you. All right. Nonetheless, I have ADHD. I say it's a little severe. Nonetheless, I just got diagnosed probably in the past 5 years, I'll say.
Yeah.
So
and we're like getting diagnosed late is a huge thing.
It is, and it's like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Right.
But when I did, I was very committed to the fact that I didn't want to have medicine. Yeah. I felt like I had made it to like 30, and if I didn't made it this far, we can figure it out from there.
Exactly.
So I've continued to go through life without the medication. Yeah. And I'm just so proud to say that I'm continuing to move and make space for me in the spaces that I am in. Yeah. So I understand exactly what you're saying. For me, it's a list. Baby, my lists are crazy. If you have ADHD and you don't have lists, I don't know how you're managing your life.
I forget too much. I got dissociation, baby. I be forgetting. I be like, I have short-term memory. I'll be writing just to get.
So those just little things of living with what God has given us, because it's a gift for me.
And that's exactly.
But I don't need this world's medicine for it.
And exactly, because the one thing I tell people, how I show up, like I understand God when I saw the duality in him, because I see the duality in me. Like I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me look through everything that he's given me. Like, God, how do you have these extreme? If you're Alpha and Omega, then how are you present? Okay, let me think about it.
We can sit there and
you know, so it's like, all right, I'm telling you, I'm a philosopher. So like really to understand like what duality means in the world.
Sit back on that one.
Exactly.
Like how can you be of the world and in the world?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be in between. You got to pick. So it's like.
Now hold on. All right.
My head is like
not about to read me today.
No, can we take a break? Can we take a quick break today?
I was just
Let's take a quick.
Y'all, she over here reading.
No, because y'all brought up the bipolar, and I'm just trying to show that this is
that
what
was a bar. Like
bar.
Listen,
let's take a quick break.
Yeah,
we'll be right back.
Amen. She said, hold on. Oh, yeah, hold on. I got you. I'm so weak.
God dang, wait a minute.
Listen.
I don't know where it's
What's up, guys? Okay. And we are back.
Biggity back.
Biggity back. Big bag, not the little one.
Oh, my bag got smaller.
I was about to say.
Big bag. My bag. That's my dad.
My God, baby, you should say that to me. I need to lose some weight.
Oh, no, we want to.
She was just talking about herself. It's okay.
Oh, I know I do, but you talking about something, you lost 90 pounds. I'm like, wait a minute, I need that recipe.
Listen, I got right with God. I just asked
That's
God.
Just what it was. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you go to him first before you do it.
But she told you how committed she was.
Yeah.
And I go to gym 3-4. I go to Crunch. I go to Crunch gym right over here.
Okay, Crunch. I go to Crunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I go in there. I about 3. Like goal is like 4. This week it was 3. I'm just getting back because I'm actually lifting now.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So like I'm not. Now that I've lost enough. That I feel really great about. I want to start lifting because I love to lift, and so it's like time to tone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on a good pace because it's February.
Yeah.
July.
Oh, you ready for some? Okay.
I'm saying, God, do you want me ready for summer?
Oh,
With my man?
Oh, with my man, with my husband.
My husband,
Ooh,
fiance.
okay, well now this goes to my favorite
Are we
question.
dating?
Yes.
Dating? What is a date? No, I'm just kidding.
What is a date? Is
What
crazy.
is a date?
No.
Okay, God gives us dates.
No. But I am not. Now I'm very. I'm trying to tell. I'm very old school.
Okay.
Like I have only had one.
Is anyone
boyfriend.
courting you?
No, there's no one courting me.
Okay.
I'm open, but there are non-negotiables.
Oh, tell me about the non-negotiables.
Man of God first and foremost.
Oh
Lead me
yeah,
in
for
life.
sure.
And that's pretty much it. You know, because I'm like, hey God, I don't have a time. Like I haven't dated. Like I've had one boyfriend, and people thought that we broke up in 2023. He broke up with me in 2019. So, but I stay low key because I don't have no issues with nobody.
Yeah.
So, you know, I am very loyal. I'm very simple. I don't. During that time, that life was full of sin, and I'm just.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, God, I want to have a godly relationship. I want what you have for me, and also I am not. I know, and I'm trying to do a better job in terms of, especially how I'm showing up now. Like I'm not super extroverted. Like I force that on to myself at times, and it's hard to maintain that. So a lot of where I do feel it's like things come to me, like, and that's how everything has happened. And so I trust God that He is going to put me in the right place at the right time to have the right person. But also I do know the first question is, if you're not looking like, because also I feel like there should be the dating. Well, once again, I don't know how to dating stuff from dating to marriage. Don't have any clue what that is. But for me, it's like we should be friends, and once we start dating, it's like this is an intent to marry. Like that is what dating is. Like we can be friends because friends mean celibacy for me. So it's like unless we're getting married, there is nothing that you're getting. Yeah. So we're just friends until you say, hey, I'm dating you because I intend and see us together. And it's like, cool. Okay. But but I have no clue what that stuff looks like. I try to think about it. Like I'm a lover girl. Like I'm like one of those, like I said, love at first sight. Like give me a drama, God. Yes. Like, you know, like what's going on?
Oh my God. I love a good rom-com.
Like rom-com, like Notebook. Oh my gosh. Like
give me all of that.
Like that's what I want. And so I'm just like, God, I'm somebody, I'm tired of ruining stuff for myself. Like jumping ahead of the gun. It's like,
I could write a book with you.
Just see. Listen.
A book.
I can write now.
Hello. We can write it together because baby.
Just let me know.
The stories
I could tell because it's like I was settling in all those. Settle. God has the best for me, and only God knows what's best for me.
I surely don't.
So, and I don't, because baby, I've been missing, and so
every shot, baby, I done missed a lot of shots. It's ridiculous.
And so I'm like, God, and same thing.
Yeah,
you gonna provide it.
Yeah.
Because also, like I said, the type of husband I know, like if I say I desire to be a housewife, I desire to be a mom. Like, yes, I'll have my side things, but I desire to be at home, to curate your home, to make this space. Like, I'm a prayer warrior, baby. I want to pray over you, make sure everything, like, that's the type I want to be. So there is a certain type of man who has to be okay with, yes, I could be doing all these things, but I choose to be home. I choose to be here for you and our family. I choose to be here for our children. Like, I could be going out here and making all this money, but I trust that my God is going to bless our house, that whatever is coming through us, like, I ain't gonna be just sitting around doing nothing.
Right.
But
still gonna use your gifts.
There is no way I don't see myself doing a 9 to 5. I don't see myself traveling, being busy, because I want to be present for my family. Okay. And that's purely enough. So don't know what day. Once again, it's February. It's
in the summer.
February 7th, you know. I'm open. But my thing is, I'm open. And I tell people, like, I was like, I've never liked anybody. Like, I've never really, and especially, like I said, who I am in my newness, I feel like a kid. So it's like, and like, I could be quirky and like, you know, in my way. And I'm like, so what do you do? I just go, like, I'm like, you like me or?
So are you going to the singles event that they're having at church?
I am.
You're going.
Of course. I go to everything at Tennessee. I ain't got nothing else to do.
So if you're going, are you going to be open to anything like blossoming?
I'm open.
You're open.
I'm open.
Okay.
I'm
She's open, y'all.
I'm not blocking no blessing from nobody.
Amen.
But at the same time, it's like, I also know what season I'm in, and it's like, I'm very focused and I can't have a distraction. That's the one thing I did pray. I was like, God, I'm so looking up at you that if I know it's my husband, if he keeps getting in the way, like if he keeps showing up, like keeps being a distraction in terms of not taking me from my purpose, but like, I'm doing God's work, and what you doing here? Like, you still, I'm not even focused on you, but like, if God keeps revealing him to me, then that's how I know, you know? And so it's like, okay, cool. Like, I see what it's about, but it's like it's a gradual thing. Like, I want to fall in love. Like, those are things that you see on the TV. Like, I'm a big TV girl. Like, old school love. Like, 90s, yes, we love it, but 80s, 70s school love. Like, how will I know that he really loves me? How will I know? Okay, I still want to know. Well, RIP to my girl Whitney, but she was asking how, like, and that's what I'd be looking. How I ain't gonna know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
it's just so interesting, like, dating nowadays. It's just it's different. It's different.
It's so different
because you can just swipe.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta really like court anybody anymore. Like, it used to be an event to like go take somebody on a date.
Yeah. I want to be. I'm sorry. Like, I've been like, people are like, because I'm very much I just blanked. Oh no. Hold on. Did I just blank on the word? What is the word?
God gonna bring it to you.
What is the word in terms of like when they're chivalry?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. I'm an old school girl. Open my door, bring me flowers. Yes, why am I touching the trash?
Come on.
Why am I opening my own door when we're walking out together? No.
Yeah.
Yes. Why am I lifting something? There's men around. There's no way.
I should not be doing any of that.
I will sit. I will wait for a man to open the door. Like, I'm not gonna rush to the door.
Right.
What rush am I in?
Right.
Yes.
So it's like, those are the things that, like, and once again, there's a security in that for me, because it's like, babes, I'm cooking, and once again, I'm a chef, so you gonna eat good. Yeah. I'm cooking, making sure the house is kept, making sure the kids is straight, making sure you straight. Yeah. Because you need to be straight. So the least you could do, because I'm very simple. I want to be in your presence. I want to just know that you are here and you're providing for me, our family. Yeah. And you will have everything else. So it's just like, those types of people, you have to really get to know them. Like, like I said, it takes time to know that about somebody. And it's like, for me, I don't see divorce as an option. So it's me like, either. I will take my time. I'll take my time. Yes. Because it's like, I can either rush it and then be with somebody, and it can mess up timing for what God has, or you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I'm not in a rush. But I know it's coming. And I'm going to be ready. Yeah. I'm going to be ready.
All right, I want to get into some hot topics a little bit, because Heather told me the other day that I need to stop comparing myself to Kanye West.
Oh, please.
Why are you comparing
Oh, my God. If there's one thing you can do on this earth, it would be that. The disgust I feel whenever you say that.
I love the old
compare,
Kanye when his mama was alive. Right.
Listen, I'm a big listen.
You
Kanye,
can the old Kanye, sure.
When Miss Donda was alive,
Kanye,
we, you know,
despise.
We don't listen. I don't know the man.
I don't know him
That's
either.
what I'm saying. I just be like, I don't know the man. What do people ask?
I don't know,
the
but
man.
so like my background is a nurse, so we learned about bipolar 1, bipolar 2.
Yeah.
We learned about manic episodes.
Yeah,
and
that stuff is real.
depressive disorder.
That stuff is real.
Yeah.
Like, and so for me, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but like,
No, you
so
good.
when I see like whenever I see somebody, especially on those types of like level, like that type of space, to be open and say something, because that it's hard to live with.
Yeah.
And it's also, there's so many misconceptions about bipolar and how it shows up. I have people look at me and be like, oh, I didn't know. Like, you don't even show up.
You don't look bipolar.
Right.
Tell me what it looks like. Please tell me. Tell me what it looks like, because unfortunately what culture has shown us is that there is this instability. I had somebody, a psychiatrist, tell me that if I don't go back on medication, then I'm going to end up in jail or doing something illegal. Ma'am, at this point I have 3 degrees. Tell me where is the illegal. So it's like there are things that this world has portrayed about mental health, like we were talking about, that it's like, no. So for me, it's like there's a grace extended. Like Kanye, I don't know what he has going on, but I know what he has going on in terms of like what on a daily you have to go through. And when your life is on public display, and like your whole life, with it, like when he was married to Kim K, when he with his children, it's like, there is so much of his life he's never, since he's put his life out, he's never taken it out. Taking it back. That's true.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a grace, but we're gonna say Kanye. I'm like, hey, I stick up for anybody who got. If you got the bipolar, baby, I'm gonna stick up for you, because I'm like, hey, I don't know what you got going on, but I'm good over here.
And that part cool. It's the comparison.
Yeah, the comparison was the biggest thing, because it's like you shouldn't be comparing yourself, because we're all got children, we're special in our own way. If you keep comparing yourself, then you'll never be your full potential.
Ooh,
No, I get that. I get that. The first thing I was saying was like, we learned about bipolar and stuff in school, but I really didn't understand it until I started watching Kanye. Like he wrote something on a windowsill one day and he said, I hate being bipolar. It's great. And for that, like, it just brought it home for me. Like, damn, that's really how it is. But like comparison, meaning like, I mean, $1 billion deal with Adidas, with Yeezy that he now owns. All of these amazing relationships with people. Like I think one time he said he burned down his whole house, his whole empire, and was like, bro, I don't need to, like, it's okay. I can call Elon and get me some underwear. I know the owner of this steakhouse. I can go get me some food. Like the way he kind of like talks about networking. Oh yeah. In the way that he kind of like runs his businesses. I mean, they could be ran a little bit, but I like how he brings hip hop inclusion. I mean, when Jay-Z met him, he said he stood on the tape, like Kanye stood on the table and was like rapping for him. Right. So comparison in the way of like, I will do whatever it takes to kind of get where I feel like I'm supposed to go. Not in a way of like, I'm just like him.
No,
just
yeah.
So the
drive.
I just heard you say,
the drive.
I feel like there are 5, 10, 50 other people that you could identify with, man or woman.
But I like to be a little controversial too. So
this is a hot topic. So my thing is also a lot of what I do feel is that Kanye is very he is himself. He is authentic.
Amen.
And so the people who love him, and so that's why even if things go wayward, he has people he can call on. A lot of people can't do that. That's why for me it's like Richmond will always be home. Richmond, I don't pay for nothing in Richmond. There's no way I'm paying for something in Richmond. Wow. I'm too connected.
Yes.
There's no way. I'll sit at home. I'll stay at home if I don't have a connection with somebody. If I'm not going somewhere to support, if I'm not going with my dad, like 9 times out of 10, if I'm leaving the house, I'm going to support somebody.
Yeah.
So I know in my heart that like I will be good. Like same thing in other cities too. Like I know how I treat people. I know how I show up. Even like I said, that my old life, I know how I show up and treat people. It's like I can go up and show up as myself now and I still be welcomed. Just based off of like how I carried myself. Yeah. And it's like, it's about treating people. Like if you're authentic, I feel like if you show up authentically, people know what they get when they deal with Kanye. They know they're getting. So as long as, and the thing is that he has consistently been that person. and you don't expect anything else. And when he does something that's quote unquote off the wall, it's like, oh, it's Kanye.
That's true, but I just think some of his morals could be.
It's a lot. Listen, I can't judge him farther.
No,
I can throw
I mean,
him. Not for me.
Because even when he talked about like slavery was a choice and things like that, some things I don't agree with. I just admire. I admire his drive.
Hey,
I admire his drive.
Okay,
That's it.
With peace.
Now I want to talk about this. You say you don't pay for nothing here, because I've been here for 31 years. But also, I be in the house, like I'm in the house.
But you be in the right spaces, because when I see you, when we see each other, those are spaces like.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm like, I be trying to put my friends on, like, hey, y'all come on out. Like, do you know about the my dad's doing cinemas in the community on the 13th?
No, but let me see if I got anything on the calendar.
We're watching. I think we're gonna see the new Captain America.
Okay.
No, I don't think
Go ahead, add it to. Go ahead, add it. It's at 6 o'clock at Bowtie.
Man, every time he up here, he got something.
Right, and I be making sure, because like my thing is like, I was like, Dad, he was like, how do I reach people?
Yeah.
Do free stuff that people like to do, that you like to do, so you also want to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
And I literally told him, I said, Dad, you love going to the movies.
Yes.
Rent out a movie theater.
There you go.
And just have it free. And I'd be like, come on, y'all. I'll be like, my friends, y'all want to come to the movies?
Heck yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, that, I think a lot of it too is that people are very prideful or too big to like see that as like, oh, that's a handout, or like, oh, we don't want to, or that's not cool. I saw Mufasa for free.
Love it.
I always wanted a brother.
That's so traumatic.
And once again, my dad had the movie. Like,
I'm going to the movie.
So yeah, come next. It's next Thursday.
I know. Well, you're gonna go. It's my therapy day, and I protect my therapy day.
As you should.
Well, I'll be there.
I'm gonna show up for the podcast.
Yeah,
I will.
show up. It's like there's so much stuff like that in the city.
Yeah.
And it's like, especially in terms of like that politics space, like they want to know the community. And so I tell them like, leverage the fact that you're a part of the community and go to those things. And like, I tell my friends all the times who have businesses, who are in these certain spaces, go meet these people because they know somebody.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, that's all I've like, you just never know who you're in the room with. And you know, a lot of what Richmond is small. Richmond is very small, and you only need a handful of people to know everybody in Richmond.
That is true.
And
that
so,
is true.
like I said, I know a lot of people because of the different spaces I've occupied, and it's just I just continuously just try to show up in the capacity that I can. And like I said, I know I'm good, you know.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Yeah,
Connections, man. We talk about networking so much up here.
Yeah.
Because it's been an important part of how we've grown.
Yeah.
And I've said time and time again, I did not do a good job of that in my 20s.
Yeah.
So I'm making up for it now.
I mean, now's the time.
Yeah, now's really the time. But
I mean, even
it's
like
important.
I've had businesses before that just didn't work. Because I wasn't connected and because I wasn't networking. Like this has probably been the most successful business that I've had because of like people kind of like inviting us into their spaces and networking with us and like shouting us out and stuff like that. I'm like, dang, that's all I was missing with the people.
Word of mouth is one of the like the one thing I always tell my dad might have the power, but I have the people. Because the one thing my dad do know, if he need people at his event, he
gonna call.
You know where to go.
He's gonna ask.
Okay.
He's gonna like, do I know? Like, and same thing with others. So like my thing is, the people is really where your power is, and it's like, I have people who hit me like, hey Joe, we need people. Bring the young folk out. I said, I hope y'all know I ain't young no more. Like I'm good.
No, you still.
No, but they want youth. I said, I don't have that. I'm not the youth. I'm not the youth.
But that's one of the main issues that I feel like I have too when having events. It's like, 'cause I can spend money on an event and you know, have food and drinks and stuff, but like I don't know how to get it out.
Oh yeah, just let me know. Like I tell people, I'm like, I'm quick. I'm like, I always send people. I might not always be able to show up, but I'm always sharing. And like, especially, like I've met so many people, and I attribute it to like just being a pastor's kid and like having to remember everybody in the congregation. So it's like I always remember who, at least I might not know all the details, but I know at least of what you want to do, what you have passion for. Because then if I have a conversation, it's like, I have two people that you can meet. Like I have two people. Like I ain't gonna do it, but here's somebody who can. You know, like and make that connection in it. You know, I've been very fortunate to be able to do that for people who I'm close to, my friends. You know, family and stuff. And I get joy out of that because I'm like, I'm grateful because I made a connection and I'm taken care of because whatever they produce, I'm a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
You're like LinkedIn.
Right.
Listen, but I don't like LinkedIn. I'm not a LinkedIn
I'm getting into
girly.
it now. I did not like it. I am getting into it now, and I feel like I'm getting in the bag on it too.
It's a great space. I think, like, because I worked for the Orlando Magic, so I was in that sports business space, and it can just be overwhelming because like you get on like a whole grind on there, and it's like,
oh no, I get on. I schedule my posts. I don't even know when they get. They schedule
and that's
right
good.
now, and I get right on.
And
off.
so I feel like that is one of the least priorities in terms of the content space that I want to be in. But like I'm helping a friend like with her brand, like we're leveraging LinkedIn, so I do see it as a resource. But for me, where I am, I can call people. My phone is LinkedIn, so I can just call some folks.
That's what I'm saying. Like
she said, I'm the source.
I can just listen.
I would not be on social media if we didn't have to post content.
She wouldn't.
I don't want to be on. I don't even want to be on it.
I cut that phone off. Yeah.
I'm gonna give or take on that. I love just scrolling through TikTok. Now,
see, I was one of the ones who deleted it, and then I'm like, I'm quick. You say I can have it? Cool. I don't need this no more. And then I was like, dang it, you brought it.
I would be in tears. Like, I know you following God right now, but I would be in tears.
Listen, no, I did it
because TikTok got me through breakups. Like when I'm going through something, baby, because it takes
TikTok,
you away from that like emotion of whatever it is. Just like, okay,
let me put that in the guide.
Well, sometimes, but let me tell you what I do. No.
Just listen.
It was the let me tell you what I do now that I found over in maybe since the beginning of the year is TikTok has a lot of good, and you got to watch who you're watching. Right. But they have a lot of good people going live who are in the Bible, who are in church, who are preaching the word.
Absolutely.
There are times, like sometimes if I'm trying to go to sleep and I can't sleep, and I'm just not trying to read the actual Bible right now, I'll turn that on and just listen, and the word will put me to sleep. Or like, listen, I know you are. But I gotta. Sometimes you gotta defend yourself.
Listen, go ahead.
So defend myself. Nonetheless, I'm leaning into it in both ways. But I also think that the Lord provides me that source of community from TikTok as well to just relax.
There's so many different ways.
Because I be having anxiety.
There are so many different ways. I think that's also, and that's why I'm so being more intentional on my platforms, because you can reach so many different people. Like a lot of the content that I want people to go to when they are feeling in a low place. I want people to get encouragement from me.
Absolutely.
And so the one thing I always try to just share is like, don't let me be the only voice that you're that you're hearing, or like you're only hearing other people's voices and not just God's, And so like I love it. Like I said, I'm leveraging social media. Like I said, I definitely hope they just put it back so I can download it, because I do not can leverage TikTok very well, but God's like, figure it out since you wanted to listen.
And you said you wanted to delete it and be quick with it.
Anybody tell you to do that?
So let's talk about your entrepreneur journey right now. The content space. What do you see for you? I know God is directing you. Yeah. But in this space right now, what's the goal for 2025? What's it look like for you?
I wish, honestly, getting back, like I said, that artist, like my artistry, to be honest, haven't had time to explore that. I have, in terms of network and I have resources and people where I can explore those spaces and it not cost me anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't take anything from me. So it's like, I need to leverage this, like, especially being home in Richmond and, like I said, networking and stuff. So a lot of it is just really defining and seeing who God has me as his daughter, and then as his creative. Like, I know the creative power he has. I know that it's within me. So God, what do you want me to create?
It's going to evolve.
So I'm excited. So I'm writing. What are the things? Paint. Like I do paints.
Writing a book?
Yeah, I'm writing. I am writing, starting a book. Okay. I've written before. But this one is called just in terms of just slowly like trying to find a way to explain this process I'm going through for it to help others, encourage others. Like I'm a big Audre Lorde fan. And so how she's able to take what she's going through, taking what's going on in society and kind of like give perspective on that. Same with Bell Hooks, All About Love, like one of my favorite books. And so.
Which one is reading that? Our last guest, Crystal, said that she was reading that book. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yep.
Okay.
All About Love. Yep. Bell Hook, like a big Bell Hooks fan. And so like to know those type of Black women writing in those times too, like I'm a big Black feminist person, like understand, like I feel like Black women right now, we have an opportunity to really leverage our time.
Yes.
And really leverage our voice if done correctly. And so I'm like, okay, God, however you want to use me. Now I feel like God's going to use me because I have so many different creative talents. I think it's going, like you said, going to evolve.
Yeah.
So I just want to to continue to own myself, own up, have ownership of being an artist. So yeah.
I love it.
In the RBA creative community, man, let me tell you something.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they've supported me
huge.
so much, even just from like the Tuesday verses and
Where's at
Addie's
Ethiopian
Ethiopian restaurant.
Tuesday.
I
Listen,
love
I
it.
get some.
At the midnight.
Listen, I'm gonna have to, because that's been on my list.
I ain't been in a minute.
That's been on my list because the one thing I will say is I am a big spoken. Like there are things that I've always been like, I want to do it and I know I can. I have the capability.
Yep.
And it's just like I didn't have time. So when because I do life groups on Tuesday, but maybe after I can,
Pop through,
Pop
it's 8 to midnight, girl. You
Girl,
got
be up that late.
Midnight is late. Yeah, that's what I mean. Great,
maybe
I
when
work
the
a full
sun-
time, but like 8 to 10, cool. 12, midnight.
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe
there, though.
like I said, if I'm up, because I will say I love Ethiopian food, and that's one of my spots. So like
Yeah.
there, Derek Tibbs. Oh, some lamb Derek Tibbs.
You said, I can just taste it right now.
We'll eat that lamb. I will.
Oh, you gonna eat the lamb?
she said that lamb.
Okay.
That lamb, the Lamb of God. Come on now.
Hallelujah.
Like,
Won't he do
it's
it?
gonna be the only one. The lamb.
Yes.
I love it.
Go ahead and ask you a question that I like real bad.
Okay. You threw me off. So one question I always ask is, what is your first memory or relationship with money that you can remember?
Yeah.
She like, look, I'm good at every good. I don't have to.
In terms of, no. I would say, so are you saying introduced in, can you qualify that more? Like introduce, like what type of interaction? Like just the first time I was.
Anything you remember that first time you
Some people say like their allowance.
Right, but whatever comes to mind.
Yeah.
Like the first time you remember somebody paying for something. Anything. What's that first memory in relationship?
The collection plate at church.
See?
Like, listen, because at church, because I one of the church my dad started at Baptist churches at first, so you had the song that you would sing, and then you would go in, pass the plate down. They don't be passing the plates no more.
They take Cash App, Venmo, Bitcoin.
Listen, they got that give the fly, and so I would say that was like the very first one of like, and then it was always like my grandma would like, or your mom would like give you money. Good. Will give you money to make sure you put something in the plate. It wouldn't even be mine, but you was making sure you put something in there. Yeah. So I think that's definitely like what came to mind. Yeah, for sure.
And how does that formed your relationship? I can almost think of it, but how has that formed your relationship with money, with the church, all of that?
Yeah, so had a really wonky relationship with money because I could go get it whenever. I was even had a point in my life where I was in scam and didn't even understand like what was going on, like and wasn't getting rich men and all. Just there was a whole time where everybody's bank account was getting used. It's like, what is going on? And so for me, I got caught up because I'm like, and I was very naive of like, I'm a suburbs kid. I'm out and with these people. I don't know what's going on. So sure, whatever. And it's like, I can just get the money. Like, it's money. So for me, money was like this ideal that I had no connection to, and I had no value. There was no value to it. Like money meant nothing to me because if I needed it, I could ask my parents, or if I needed it, I can go find it. I can go work for it. I can go I could always find it if I really needed it. Yeah. And so it got to a point where I'm even at the point where like money, like that was my idol for me. Like I was putting that first before God. And like I said, in terms of where I am now, like I give it first now to him. I don't like, there is no robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like there is no, like I'm giving God my first because once again, he gives me the opportunities to receive it. Yep. Like I had no hand in this at all. As much as I see it in my hands, I had no play in how much I received. And so I think God, that was another thing of God just sitting me down of like, you think you're making all this happen for you. Like I would buy all these things, travel, all this stuff, and like, yeah, Joe got it. Yep, sure do. Not giving God no credit.
No.
Like, yep, I do got it. I am all that.
God.
And I'm like,
but God.
And God took, he said, just like I can give, I can take. And baby, when he took, I said, oh. It won't me. Because baby, when I said tried, and I was like, I ain't used to my money being funny like this. What's going on?
Yeah.
So God sat me down and was like, because you're putting this before me. Like, was not tithing at all. Was like barely giving $20 when I knew I had to wait when I was in a club. I'm going up in the club and not giving God $20. I wouldn't even pay $20 for, I don't drink my own. Wouldn't even pay $20 for a drink in the club. I was spending more than that. So for me, it was like those, and like that's really where a lot of my convictions early started with God. It was like, if I can be on the table jumping, I can be on the altar praying. If I can be out here going crazy, doing sin, I can go crazy for Christ. Like, if I wasn't ashamed doing the dirt I was doing in the streets, why am I ashamed for living my life devoted to Christ? And so for me, I think that's where I am more confident in how I show up, because people can see, even though it's like, dang, Joe look different. Yeah, but Joe always been the one who's going hard, the one that's like gonna go all out. And so like I said, that's where I was convicted of me going lukewarm and going in my relationship with God, and people thinking that I was a Christian. And I'm like, no. I wasn't really. I was halfway doing it. And so now it's like, I got to show y'all, this is how God desires me. This is what he has for my life. This is what a submitted lifestyle looks like, what a life of discipleship, a life of surrender. And it's totally different.
Wow. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Oof.
I already know. It's so much. It's so much. You got any other questions?
I have like 35.
Okay. Well, go for it.
No, I'm
gonna fire through. If you can fire through them, be selective.
All right, I'm gonna got one more.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Where is it at? Hold on.
You in this computer?
I know, right? When people speak about you after you're gone, what do you hope that they say? Yes.
I really, because I
stumped her a little
it's not
bit.
a stomp. It's not no Kirk Franklin stomp, but it is more so. I used to always say that I was like the vibe set, like, like when people are like, what are, on the interview questions, like, what will people say about you? And so I was like, I always like set the tone, set the vibe. And honestly, I am at a point where I want to be that constant calm. Like she's the one that's like, nothing shakes her, because she knows who she's rooted in. I know I can go to her, because like when my life is crazy, Joe just always seems calm. Like I want there to be a steadiness and ease. Like she lived her life with ease, and people look at me like, how does she do it? And I'm like, it's God. Like, because that's really how I want to live my life. Like I pray, I'm like, God, I want to live my life in such a way that when people look at me, they're like, how is she able to show up? How does she have so much peace? How is she so calm? How is she able to carry? So I can give God credit. And so for me, it's like she trusted God in such a way where there was just an ease in her life. Because like I've lived a hard life. Like regardless of like people want to show, like say like, hey, my parents, my family, I chose to live really hard, a really hard life, and didn't have to. And so now, once again, God's taking what the enemy meant for evil and using it.
Didn't have to.
Right. Didn't have to. And I chose that. And now I'm choosing this free life, this new life. And it's like, I just want people to be like, Joe is like not even living her best life, but it's like, how is she at peace? Yep. Because that's something that we all look for. I'm like, and I can just be like, it's God. I'm like, just go talk to God about it. Yeah. Because it's a
secret. That's not a secret.
Exactly.
Right. It's so simple. Oh, it will be complicated. But that's the enemy. Yeah. That's the enemy that complicates it. Like, and that was a lot for me. It's like, it's really that simple. And for me, like I said, I'm very exact, because like with my bipolar, it's like, no, either you are sinning or you're doing what God is telling you to do. Either you're obedient or you're sinning.
There you go.
Either you're doing what God said or you're not. Like what PV says, like, and a lot of preachers say, they talk about missing the mark. If you know what is right, you don't do it. That's sin. That's very convicting for me. So if I know I'm supposed to go work out today and I don't, Am I doing everything God told me to do today? Let me go to the gym. You know? So
she done read me 5 times in this damn episode.
Yeah, that's that gym part hit me like, ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I was supposed to get up this morning and go to the gym, but
And so that's where you give your that's where grace shows.
that is true.
And I love to give myself grace, you know, because I'm like, you know what? Now there be sometimes like, all right, God, like you don't take the grace for granted, and don't take grace. You don't sin to get God's grace, like you know, Paul talks about that. But it's like, I just want to live in such a way that is pleasing to God and that makes other people curious. Like, Joe is fly. Joe is able to show up the way she is. Joe is able to have fun, live life to the fullest. She married, got kids, all that. How she?
God.
Yep.
Because I was like, I try to get to where I am right now. I tried by myself, and it
did not work.
Nope.
Wow.
That's impactful.
And then I got one last question.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
promise my last question.
I don't know.
It's okay. I'm saying it's okay. Today is the only day.
It's the only day.
It's the only day.
I'm just saying, because I told you I'll be at home. Since I'm out the house, I'm already out the house.
Yeah.
Might as well stay out the house.
What you got?
Listen.
All right. We've talked a lot about inner workings and inner peace. Now I want to kind of go out to the world because we got Trump in office. And I know you don't want to get into politics, but you live in a very political and spiritual realm.
Yeah.
Dad is a pastor and a politician.
Yeah.
How we feeling about these next 4 years, especially with the whole DEI initiative rolling back? We trying to boycott certain things, certain companies that's rolling it back.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just wondering, I want to pick your brain about how you feeling about this administration.
Yeah, a lot of it, Trump is not the first president who's done a lot of madness in the country. A lot of it is like historically speaking. This is not the first time. We don't know if it will be the last time. For me, I know where I am, so I can only worry about me and what I can. Like, I'm really big on like I can only control what I can control.
I got you.
I'm very big on. I'm grateful that I'm not in certain spaces because I do have, like, my best friend is a teacher. And so she's sharing me these stories about what's going on. And I don't even know what's going on because, once again, it don't have nothing to do with me.
Right.
So I'm not going to stress myself out or worry about things that have nothing to do. And I think a lot of people do that. Like, if it has no direct impact, it's okay to be like, I'm indifferent and I'm not impacted by this, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because I can't speak on it. Like, I can't. And so even like I even keep a hand from like a lot of what my dad has in like Richmond politics. If it doesn't directly impact me, then I don't like it. I'm not concerned. Like, I don't have anything to say. And sometimes you have to learn to just how to be silent on things that don't concern us. So yeah, you know, I am aware of what's going on. But also I've been in these spaces for a while, so I know how to navigate. I have my master's in public administration, so I know how these systems work. So there's also of understanding the importance of local politics, of state politics, you know. I mean, and then, you know, there's levels to all of this. And so if you're worried about what's happening at a federal level, are you safe from a local level? Do you know that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm educated and versed enough of how politics work. I know how, you know, bills work. I know how grants, all these things work. Yes, to make an impact, but there's always a way. Like, there's still like I can go still apply for grants. There might be certain grants I'm not eligible for, but there are grants that still are. So find a way. Like, I'd be like, y'all find a way. Yes, something might be taken away, but figure it out. Like, I've always figured stuff out. Like, I've been a black woman all my life. Like, we are most disadvantaged out of everyone in our population, yet we still succeed. So if we can if a black woman can figure it out,
we'll be all right.
We'll be all right. So it's like, I don't like this. I don't like the stress.
Yeah.
Don't like the stress. It's like, I'm fortunate enough not to be impacted, and I'm praying for our country. Because our country is at risk right now, but also I feel like it is a way for us, the capital C Church, to come together and bring peace. So yeah.
So you said be silent.
Yeah.
And I gotta have a little controversy here. What do you say to the naysayers who say being silent is part of the problem? Yeah.
So I would acknowledge that, because as someone, like I said, the Black feminist movement, they came, you know, during a time where the feminist movement was for white women and the civil rights movement was only for Black men. And so for when there was a space, they spoke about their things and how they weren't being met. I feel like we are all grouped together, and it's kind of one voice where it's like, if I come out and say, hey, as a Black woman who has mental health issues, this is how I feel, how I'm being impacted. As someone who's 26 and, you know, access to healthcare, this is how I'm impacted. Not, this is how women are impacted, because I can't speak on every person in that space. And so I feel like, yes, you can use your voice, absolutely, because I use my voice absolutely, but I have to know when and where, because I know where my voice is being heard, where it's not. I know where my voice is going to be manipulated and used against me. I know where it's not. So if there's not a space where I can make sure and ensure that, hey, what I'm being communicated is what I needed to communicate, then cool, because there have been times I've used my voice and misspoke on things that I had no clue what was going on. And it's like, well, it's out there. And I can't take it back. And so I'd rather be, like I said before, like being very strategic on how I use my voice. And a lot of it where I'm using my voice now is like, God is calling his people back. That's my priority right now. Like, God is calling his people back. And if there are other, like, once again, those are my priorities. Other people have their own. But right now, like, I'm good. And we really got to be okay with, like, if you are good, be good. And then once again, I have friends who come, now one thing I will say, ain't nobody gonna mess with my people. So there, like I said, when the monuments and stuff, my dad was going through monuments, I was here and present, because that was an issue. And I'm going to stand up for my family. Like, my dad's involved and, like, was hugely involved. I was terrified, you know? And so it's like, yes, absolutely. But there are times where we group, especially Black folk, we group all of our voices. And then that's why people outside of our community think we're all one, all the same. And it's like, no, but we have different Black experiences. And I don't think as Black people, we sometimes do our best job of telling our truth, our true story of what's going on and how we actually feel, and expressing how we actually feel about what's going on to actually get the help that we need, you know? And so it's like, I think we're always just grouped together at times. And it's like, just speak on what you want to speak on. Like you said, we have social media, speak on what you want to speak on. And the right people will hear, and you will find your community. You will find the people who care and impact. And go to your local government. And if you have issues, talk to your local politicians, your state legislatures, because those are the people who make impact on the federal level. Like, you got to go out and vote. You got to go out and vote every year, because and especially in Virginia, there's an election every single year.
Every 6 months.
So it's like, you can't say you're upset with what's going on federally if you're not actively involved on what happens on a day-to-day. School boards have up positions. You're upset with the schools? Look at your school board. Are you involved? Do you know who's your superintendent?
And if you don't like them, find somebody who's ready to run, or get yourself ready.
Exactly. So, you know, I think, like I said, being in that political space, having the education behind that political space as well. Because I used to be, like, I'm a huge Angela Davis fan. So I was when I was younger, I was like, let's go, let's do it. Like, you know, I was very, very, very vocal and misspoke and said things that I was like, was that the best use of your voice? That was taken the wrong way, and I can't take it back. Out of anger, out of hurt, out of whatever, of where I was in that space. And I have a crazy mouth. And so, like I said before, like, my mouth was used for negativity, and I want to make sure it brings peace and power. So
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
I think that we, like you said, like, we're not a monolith, and that's something that I feel like we need to understand. Like, not everybody has the same issues. Like, I know when Trump was first, they were talking about him first getting elected. I don't know about anybody else, but my family is mostly Democratic. Ain't nobody explained to me why I was supposed to be a Democrat. They just said you're supposed to be Democratic. But I know when I asked questions about, like, oh, like, how are you feeling about Trump administration? The first thing some people said were, oh, he gonna take away food stamps. Me personally, I don't get food stamps. So I couldn't like understand. It's a different connection. It's a different, it's a different connection. But I guess when he started doing, like, the DEI rollbacks and things like that, I honestly still am not affected by it. I just thought it
just really shows. I mean, also,
interesting.
Like, once again, like, working in sports and on that side, it really shows who's work for Black people who aren't.
Right.
Why you want to work for a company who doesn't want you there? Like, I refuse to be a token.
Right. Yeah. It revealed a lot of true colors.
It shows a lot. And so guess what? We as a people, as a person, I can now take what's information has been given. Okay, cool. You do not support X, Y, and Z. I can now take my money somewhere else.
Yeah.
I can now make another decision. Now, if you still choose to go there, once again, that is your choice.
Yeah.
But you have the information at hand. And so for me, and also, like I said, working in sports, being a Black woman working in sports, you can be a token in a space. Like I worked in partnerships. You don't see a lot of Black women in global partnerships at the NBA level. You don't.
Yeah, you don't.
And so it's at this point, it's like, okay, cool. If you don't want me here, I don't want to be here.
And that's it.
Simple.
Yeah.
That's really it.
So my thing, I'm like, it's just going to show. I'm like, I'm interested to see who's going to show out. Because then it's kind of like, okay.
Thank you. Now I know.
Thanks.
This is allowing me to see. Y'all don't have to be behind closed doors anymore. No, I get to see.
Exactly.
My eyes are open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, at least my thing is with Trump, once again, going back Kanye, you know who you're getting. So it's like, at least he's showing who he is and you can move accordingly if you choose to do so or whatever. So yeah, you just have your eyes open and like, all right, cool. What's going on? Like, I'm very observant. All right, what's for me? Holy Spirit helps me. Okay, here. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for letting me avoid this over here because I see what happened. You know what I'm saying? So
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, how we use, I mean, I can keep going, but how we usually end this is we'll end with like our favorite quote.
Okay.
And what book we're reading.
Okay.
So we'll start with Heather.
We should not, because I don't have nothing to tell you.
I was not ready.
I'm not really reading right now, but I'm gonna say I'm not, because the
At
Lord,
least you're honest.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot, but the book that's up on my phone right now is The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. We'll see if I make it past chapter 1. I'm not in a reading space right now. Okay. So I can't really, and I didn't pull up a quote today. I'm just not prepared. Sorry, not sorry. But I will tell you what I'm really in the space to do right now, because I want to be able to pour into my community even more, is learning about business credit and learning about taxes. So I'm really trying to put myself into watching and bringing in more knowledge in those spaces.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of free game in that.
That's what's going on for me right now.
A lot of free game in that.
Yeah.
Let's see where I want to go in the Bible. I'm reading that
that's
book.
Right. What it brought you to? Because you said when we just opened it,
what
verse did it bring it to?
Oh, what verse it brought it up to where it came?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Because I'm a big David. Is this a long psalm? Let's see. Big David. Well, I'm big everybody, but where it says, because this past week I've been focusing on trust. So we're in Psalms 37:3. This NLT version says, "Trust in the Lord and do good, then you will live safely in the land and prosper. Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you your heart's desires. Commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust Him, and He will help you. He will make your innocence radiate like the dawn, and the justice of your cause will shine like the noonday sun." I'm like, come on,
trust in Him.
Trusting in God. Like I used to trust nobody. Can't even trust my left hand to my right.
Ooh,
I can't, So a lot of, like I said, a lot of this stuff I've been focused on is just being really wholeheartedly. So outside of the Bible, I am rereading All About Love. So by Bell Hooks. That's one that I can just read. It's just so good.
Yeah.
It's just so timeless.
See, this is the second time I'd have heard that book.
It's a great book.
You gotta read it.
I gotta check it out.
It's a great book. It's a great book. Yeah. Because it just breaks it down in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And it's just a good little read and educational too. Like you really she is a teacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like when I keep hearing things more than once, that's God talking to me. Like a few people
this
said
for you.
something about sickle cell recently. Like Destiny Harris, who we had on, she did a report on, and then somebody I met was talking about, and now this book, I'm like, all right, God, I hear you again. I got you.
Hey.
My quote is by Luke chapter 12, verse 48.
Okay.
Hold on. I think I know that one.
Woo.
Woo.
Sorry.
You know this one.
To whom much is given, much is required.
And that's it. That is it.
Yes.
Oh, that's not all of it. Read the whole thing.
Oh. She don't got it up.
Oh, that's okay. That's Luke 12. It's
tell us what
okay.
it all says.
But someone who does. Let me actually.
Yeah, let me hear you.
Give us the whole thing.
But this is still New Living Translation. But someone who does not know and then does something wrong will be punished only lightly. That's what I was saying. That missed the sin part. When someone has been given much, but much will be required in return. And when someone has been entrusted with much, even more will be required.
Ooh.
Amen.
That's why you need the whole thing,
Yeah.
Yes.
the whole flavor.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I hope ChatGPT is taking all of this into
You know what I mean?
consideration.
No, chat is really it's one of the ways
Yes,
I help with my Bible study because like
Yes.
that's one of the ways that helps and give. I'm like y'all better use this AI.
Right? Every day.
Use
Baby.
it.
Yeah. You know, I ask you to talk
God
like me
didn't-
sometimes. It talk like me studying everything.
Oh, not stutter and everything.
It do
You just told
pause. It do. In the book.
Not you done told it to stutter. All right, I've heard it all.
In the book.
I've heard it all.
The book that I'm reading was actually recommended to me by Reiki therapist Mika. It's called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill.
All right,
Okay.
because he has no new tricks now.
Ooh.
Oh, we.
Yes. How can we support you? How can we I don't know if you want to
Oh yeah,
Shout out
I'm gonna
your-
shout out the song.
Right.
The baggage been coming for me.
She been
I'm back,
heading.
but I'm back active now. Like I would,
Okay.
I'm getting back active. Yes, you can go on my Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams. One is J0Marie_, which is like my Jocelyn Marie like diary, and then a.devoted.disciple. Is a different approach to my disciple journey, allowing me to write in this space. And then I have my YouTube channel that I've just been launching and starting. It is at Call Me Jocelyn Marie. So and Jocelyn Jocelyn because people want there are different versions. Throw an S and it's okay Jocelyn. But yeah, definitely follow. I'm just getting back active, so I'm excited to see what the Lord brings. Yes.
He's already poured into you so much.
Listen,
So-
I want to overflow. Lord, let it overflow.
Let it overflow and find her husband,
Listen,
the one for her,
yes,
baby, so she can be the
Lord.
stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
And all the things.
Listen, I just want to be able to show up and just, because it's like if I have work, I can't just go show up and support people. Like I can't just. I feel like going to do this today.
Yeah.
I gotta go to work. I ain't trying to do that.
Ooh,
That's not
child,
for you.
me and the Lord been
Listen.
really sitting with that lately, so we're gonna let them speak.
We gotta talk about that. You didn't tell me that.
What?
You didn't tell me that.
Well,
It's just like, well,
Yes.
but yeah,
we're
but
gonna see where it lead me.
Okay.
just let them lead you.
I'm letting him lead me. Every application I put in, I say this one's for the Lord, and we're gonna see how he lets it flow.
Yeah,
where he wants me to be.
That's how you gotta
That's
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Trust him.
Amen.
You know who I can compare you to? Well,
No.
I can compare. I can't compare, but because you can't compete, you can't compare.
Remind you.
You
She
remind
reminds
me
you
of the soul of like a Kiki Palmer
A Kiki.
or something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, True Jackson VP was my show.
was a
to
good
see her.
Yeah.
But no, like that's definitely in terms of Black women in these spaces, definitely a Kiki Palmer,
Yeah.
Issa Rae,
Love, yeah.
Quinta Brunson.
Yes.
So like those are young women right now that like I'm seeing how they're showing
Yes.
up, and I'm like, okay, God, it's not too crazy for me to. It's not too crazy what you're asking me to do. You know what I'm saying? So I trust, like when I said, I trust him because he showed, like in terms of showing me other people of like, this is how I'm like. I just had a ball introduced in my hand at a very young age, but how that took off, so quickly. So like I said, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
But
A lot of good things coming.
definitely excited. But yeah, please let me know. However, I don't be doing that for real. So just let me know however I can support.
We got you.
Support y'all for
Yeah.
sure. But really appreciate y'all's time and being able to be on
Absolutely.
here.
We appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like that's one of the things we say out here that time is.
Time is your greatest asset.
Yes.
And we appreciate you for sharing some of your time currency with us.
Yes, you're
Because
welcome.
we absolutely know as people out here just trying to make a little money while doing our passions. We want the money to be the byproduct of our passion,
Absolutely.
not the first thing we think about. But
Right.
we trying to be out here and get it.
You just
So
try
we
to-
understand. Like sometimes it's that's why I thank you every time that you come.
Thank you.
And I guess because that's what we focus on, giving you guys your flowers,
Thank
and
you,
we
yes.
know y'all booked and busy. We ain't just know anybody.
Listen,
Right.
Coming on, y'all.
Yeah, you already heard her talk. She said,
talking.
I don't go anywhere in Richmond. I gotta
No.
pay.
Sorry.
She's her. Okay, with
Yeah.
God.
Powerhouse.
Very
Listen.
much so.
Magnetic.
You know
what I'm saying?
For the support,
Yeah.
like, comment, share. That's to anybody.
Yep.
Absolutely continue to share because we are putting out good work, good information. Oh my gosh, the things that I've been able to learn just from sitting here have been great, and I want everybody else to learn. So that's really good support for us. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Peace, blessings, and
good night.
Good night.
All right. Woo, amen. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Yeah. How's that?
That was beautiful. Oh, you were talking to Jocelyn.